Hello and welcome. We come to you today from the spot which will be the Telangana-Seemandhra border once a bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh becomes an official reality. We just crossed Nalgonda district and this is where Krishna district begins, the entry point into the new state of Seemandhra.
Step out of Telangana into any part of Seemandhra region and the full force of the anti-bifurcation protests hit you. This group of youngsters hope that the powers that be in New Delhi will hear their voices of dissent. While a group of lawyers has converted lunch hour into demonstration time. Everywhere you go, you get to feel the hurt and anguish at the division of Andhra Pradesh.
Hyderabad has been declared the common capital for the next 10 years and the people of Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra are pained at the prospect of giving up on Hyderabad after that. But at the same time, a race has begun among cities from these two regions to be the capital of the new state. Over the next half hour, we travel to many of these cities and examine whether it will be a case of capital punishment or capital gains for these cities.
Our first stop is Vijayawada. That, along with Guntur and Tenali in the neighboring district, is pushing its case. Its citizens point out that it is geographically centrally located in the new state, has an airport apart from a busy rail and bus station. It is close to Machilipatnam port and has enough land between Vijayawada and Guntur to set up infrastructure for the administrative machinery. It is built on the banks of River Krishna and is a vibrant city that is politically very mature.
Most of the political activities started from here, but unfortunately it didn't end here. It all went back to Hyderabad. Like the Telugu Desam, first anti-Ramanas meeting was here. And then any Congress top of those days, even before freedom, the meetings used to be conducted here in Vijayawada. And all national level meetings of Communist Party. This is also another Communist Party center. So all this was like place here. But if you see again back Telugu Desam development, everything was done again, Chandrababu Naidu done in Hyderabad area only.
Even as a section of people in coastal Andhra agitate against the decision to bifurcate Andhra Pradesh, quite a few actually want to move on. They see no reason to stick on to Hyderabad for another 10 years and would much rather focus their energies to develop a new capital city.
Industry bodies are already preparing the blueprint of Vijayawada, Guntur, Tenali as the equivalent of Hyderabad, Sikandrabad, Cyberabad of the new state. And in what is perhaps an indication that Vijayawada is ready to take off, South India's first regional airline, Air Costa, will soon begin operations from the city. Its promoters say Vijayawada's development will adversely impact Hyderabad, given that nearly 20% of the passenger traffic through Hyderabad International Airport is from coastal districts.
If the capital is developed here, everything is shifted here, maybe Vijayawada or maybe Ongole or anywhere. Traffic is diverted. No need of going to Hyderabad regularly. Only there will be a good impact on Hyderabad airport.
In 1953, when the Telugu-speaking areas were carved out of the then Madras state to form Andhra state, Vijayawada lost out on becoming the capital city to Kurnool. This time, Vijayawada, that is known as the political and film capital of Andhra Pradesh, does not want history to be repeated, and hence it is pitching its claim high.
This is not a developed area. What I mean, compared to Hyderabad, we cannot say this is a developed city like Hyderabad, but there is a lot of scope to develop to becoming a Hyderabad city actually because of the geographically central place actually. And if you combine good cities of Guntur, Vijayawada and Tenali, with all these factors, there is every scope to become a bigger city like Hyderabad actually.
The enthusiasm is already telling on the land rates in and around Vijayawada and Guntur.
Past 1 week, it had increased by around 15-20% again.
15-20%
Yes,
land
yes,
rates.
yes,
From
yes.
how much to how much?
Yeah, maybe if you look at the prime localities in the city, 1 square yard is more than a lakh of rupees.
The Vijayawada-Guntur belt is considered a major education hub with a large number of engineering colleges and coaching centers, but has lost the cream of the talent to Hyderabad and other cities like Bangalore and Chennai. Acquiring capital status, educationists feel will help it attract world-class educational institutions.
Because of the infrastructural position at Hyderabad, most of the world-class institutions, take it ISB or most of the universities and all the leading institutions are placed in and around Hyderabad. And so the students are forced to go into that place. So if similar institutions, if there is a capital here, definitely we would be having that leverage to build such ecosystem, such infrastructure into education system also here.
Given that 25 to 30% of Hyderabad's population is from Seemandhra, Hyderabad's influence over these parts is obvious. This entrance arch to an apartment complex modelled on Hyderabad's high-tech city on the outskirts of Guntur reflect the huge Hyderabad hangover in these smaller cities.
The one big lesson that people in coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema say they have learned is not to put all their eggs in one basket. So even though one city will be designated as the capital, they want to ensure against it becoming another Hyderabad and becoming the sole magnet for all investments and facilities.
The plan then is to spread out the goodies among half a dozen different cities in the new state.
From Vizag to Anantapur, whatever is good for each area, they should take that and develop it. If Anantapur doesn't have water, bring education there. Get a steel plant there because there's iron. You look at what is natural to that place and do that. Don't become, I have some real estate here, let's do it here. Let them be forward thinking. See, already we've lost out because of people have been very shallow in their thinking in this country. At least this time, if there is real enterprise in people, let them be very open-minded and see that there is growth, that all parts of the society will be able to enjoy it.
But it won't be a smooth ride for Vijayawada.
Even as Vijayawada, Guntur and Tenali stake their claim, the caste factor could cast a shadow over their prospects. This belt is seen as a Kamma stronghold, a community that has traditionally backed the Telugu Desam. And a Reddy-backed Congress is unlikely to support a capital city where the Kamma community could prosper.
The city is therefore likely to face stiff competition from Ongole, further down south in Prakasam district.
Out of 175 MLAs that belong to Rayalaseema and Coastal Andhra, single caste wise, it is Reddys whose number is large. About 60. Yeah. And definitely they will have interest in developing Prakasam district, which is close to Guntur and Nellore, Kurnool. And these areas are also dominated by, to some extent, Reddys.
Those pushing Ongole's case reason that huge tract of government land, nearly 80,000 acres, is available in and around the district headquarters. They also point out that it is closer to Rayalaseema than Vijayawada and hence will find favour with those from the region. Former Rajya Sabha MP Y. Shivaji, however, does not think Ongole will make the cut.
In contrast to Vijayawada Guntur, there's also a lot of talk of Ongole. Why do you think Ongole can or cannot become the new capital of separate Andhra state?
Ongole, people feel that land is available at Ongole. That is the only claim. But my finding is that Ongole, even today, drinking water is supplied once or twice in a week. Water is to be carried from a long distance. That is one aspect. Ongole, she didn't acquire even the infrastructure to be the district headquarters.
While the debate on where should the capital be rages, there is also anger among the people that politicians of the region did not try hard enough to prevent bifurcation because they were interested parties in building on their personal capital.
Many of the politicians from coastal Andhra are businessmen or contractors. They would now stand to gain by the contracts that would be doled out liberally during the construction of the new capital city. That would cost anywhere between 50,000 crores and 2 lakh crore rupees.
And the representatives in this area are not that active. And unfortunately, most of the representatives are merchants from this area. So they are concerned only about their business affairs. They are concerned about their contracts. Do you come across in any other state that the contractors are representing the people in the parliament? Contractors are there. So they are more worried about their contracts, their business, their bank advances, their one-time settlement, their CDR and other aspects, but not the development of this area.
Little wonder then that Padmavati, a farmer on the outskirts of Vijayawada, in her native wisdom articulates why she thinks building a new capital is just a waste of time and money.
ఇట్లు పెట్టి కట్టినా రైతుల మీద పట్టడం జనాల మీద పట్టమే ఈ భారం మొత్తం కొత్తగా కట్టింది ఆ పాతది కడితే అది ఉంచితేనే బాగుంటుంది రాజధాని కింద అందరికి బాగుంటుంది వాళ్ళకైనా వీళ్ళకైనా అన్నిటికీ అదే బాగుంటుంది ఇదంతా జనాల మీద ఖర్చులు వేయటమేగా 10,000 కోట్లు కాదు 100,000 కోట్లు పెట్టినా కూడా ఇది జనాలను ఎత్తిన పట్టమేనా అదైతేనే బాగుంటుంది